Hello and what's going on, guys? It's Zombie here, and today we're going to be starting off a new series called How to Be a Pro and Then a Role. So, how to be a pro in any role. The first role we're going to be starting off with is Entry Fragger, and I've played Entry Fragger for a team before, and I've pretty much gone through all the roles. I know how to play every role as a pro, and to start it off, I'm going to be teaching you how to be a pro good entry fragger. The first thing we're going to talk about is the skill set of an entry fragger. The first thing that an entry fragger needs in their skill set is a very good reaction time. Now, when I say very good, I mean like 200 milliseconds and below as their average. So like you can't just be like, oh dude, I got like 200 milliseconds once and say you have good reaction time. You need to get 200 and below. If you were wondering, the average human reaction time is around 280 milliseconds, so 200 is considered pretty good. My average reaction time is 160 milliseconds. I've gotten an average of 149 before, but I consider my average to be 160 milliseconds. It also could be affected by the mouse you're using and how many millisecond delay there is. I'm using Final Mouse 2015, and it's very good for that. So now we're going to move on, talk about, well actually, I'm going to link you to a website in the description called humanbenchmark.com, and that's where you can practice your reaction time and see what your average reaction time is after 5 tries of getting a reaction time. Basically, when it's red and then it turns green, you want to click it, and it'll tell you your milliseconds in reaction time. The next skill that an entry fragger needs is to have flick shots. Basically, just like blah blah blah. Like you see an enemy, you're pre-aiming this spot right here on Dust. You're pre-aiming the double box, and a guy peeks you goose. You want to be able to flick. All right. And a good map, if you guys go into Steam Workshop, I'll show you it after this video is over, and I'll show you how to do it in Steam Workshop. But you go to Steam Workshop and you go to the Counter-Strike Global Offensive Maps section, and it's called training_aim_CSGO, and it's a very good map. Okay, it'll have dots of what you shoot, and it's for flick shotting, and I'll show you it later in the video. The next skill that an entry fragger needs is to be very good at counter strafing. So say for example you're entry fragging cat on Dust 2 A site. You need to be able to come out and be 100% accurate right when you peek. And what counter strafing is right now holding my A key and then just letting it go. You see how I glide out a bit? And now if I just hit my D key while I'm strafing out, it's called a counter strafe. And you stop and you become 100% accurate right away. The next skill that an entry fragger needs to be a professional entry fragger is you want to not be afraid to die. Now this I actually consider a skill, because so many people are afraid to die. They care about their life. But the point of an entry fragger is basically to die and give your team the information of where the enemy players are playing. Yes, if you don't die, you've done your job, but you can still do your job without getting any kills. And basically what I mean is, if there's a guy playing headshot angle on Dust 2 Cat A, and you come out and you wide peek him and you have your support player following you, and you get the information that there's a guy at a long cross and headshot angle Dust 2 Cat entry, and you die to one of them, it doesn't matter who you die to one of them, now your whole team knows who's following you. Your whole team knows where to be pre-aiming. They know they don't have to check these other spots because they know where the 2 players are that are playing the site. Oh, sorry for the lag there. And that's pretty much what I mean by not being afraid to die. Because you are, like, 90% of the time going to die as an entry fragger. Now, another thing, falling into the not die section, we've already kind of talked about this. The next skill that the entry fragger needs is communication. Now, this is huge because you are calling out where the enemies are when you die to them. I don't know why I'm getting really low frames right now, but I don't know if you will be able to see it in the video. So what I mean by this is, like, you gotta say, like, you die to this guy and this guy right away. As soon as you die, you need to tell them, your team, exactly where the enemies are playing from. So if you delay your call, or like you're just like, damn it, I died, blah blah, you're hurting your team. So don't do it. And that's pretty much the main points for the skill set of an entry fragger. Next, we're going to be talking about the different play styles, or the mixes of play styles that you will be using as an entry fragger. Okay, now we're going to be talking about the play style of an entry fragger and what you are supposed to do exactly. So an entry fragger wants to be very aggressive. So say you have your team flashing you on cat. You're the guy who's like just Ramboing into to wherever you're entry fragging. So you want to be pre-aiming angles through walls. So it's almost like you're a wall hacker, really. You want to be pre-aiming these spots. Like, I'm pre-aiming this. And I'm getting lag spikes again. Holy shit. But you know what I mean. You want to pre-aim. What pre-aiming is you want to look through and it be adjusting your aim so that you're already looking at where the common spots in enemy CT would be playing. Okay? So the next thing you want to focus on is your crosshair placement. You want to follow the wall. I know this looks like I'm in slow motion because I'm walking and it's very laggy, but you want to follow the wall really close. And I'm going to cut the video. I'll see you in a little bit. I'm going to solve this lag problem real quick. Alright guys, I'm back. It's all fixed now. What I was saying about crosshair placement was you want to adjust your crosshair while you're running where the enemy could be coming out of. So say the enemy could be along this wall or whatever. Like, you want to just follow the wall. So the enemy, where could the enemy come from when you're looking at cat from this area? The enemy can't come through any of these walls, right? So why not just put your crosshair right where the enemy could come from? So when you're running along this wall, you're checking all the angles with your crosshair, following the wall of the places where the enemy could peek out, you know? So now let me fly back over to cat, because we're talking about entering this position just for the example. The next thing that you need to have in your playstyle is you want to be on the inside lane of traffic, so your support can wide peek while you are on the inside lane. So what I mean by that is, for example, entering on B site in Dust 2. You want to be, there's 3 lanes really. One, the inside lane, you got the middle lane, you got the outside lane. Now you don't always have to be on the inside lane, but it's really helpful to your support player or to anyone who's supposed to trade your frag, so that they can get them and see them easier and have the advantage. So you want to come out and you want to be hugging this wall while you're peeking everything. You want to follow the inside, you want to follow the inside lane into the site. So if you're entry fragging into B site, you're checking all the angles and you're following this wall, and you'll eventually end up right here. And you'll be following, it's like, say you're just this was a spot to entry, which is, it's really not. You'd be following the inside lane of where you're peeking. and then it would change right here because you're entering on this area. Always the inside lane. So I just showed you what the inside lane is. The next thing that you need in your playstyle as a pro entry fragger is to check each angle individually. Now what I mean by that is, like, say you're entering B. So you want to check each, well, first of all, say you already have control of all this, you want to be checking all this, but you know that this side of the site over here is clear, okay? So you want to check each angle individually by counter-strafing out, peeking all the angles, pre-aiming all the angles, and clearing the site. And check each angle individually. So what not to do would be to swing out like this and check this angle while exposing yourself to this angle, this angle, this angle, this angle, this angle. Alright? So you want to come out and peek each angle individually. The next thing you need in your playstyle for a pro entry fragger is, if you have information on where an enemy is or where he was most likely playing, you want to pre-fire the angle which you know he is playing. And sometimes you don't even have to know that he's playing there. Say that you've done your research on a team and you know that their B site player loves doing this little boost right here where he's sticking his head up above the box. You could swing out and just be pre-aiming the spot and pre-firing it, because pre-firing and getting that entry frag is so important. And if you get a free frag like that, it'll help your team so much into the round. And taking the chance that an enemy is playing there is very helpful. And say that you're coming out of this corner, you already have this side of the site cleared out, which would be very rare. Or let's just do this. You could come around, you've checked all these angles, now you come around and you pre-fire this before you come and check all of the car, box, and everything. So that's what I mean by pre-firing, and it can be very effective, especially in league play when people play more common spots. So the next thing you need in your playstyle is that, let me just read what I got here. You need to work with your in-game leader and your support player really well. So first of all, your in-game leader should be directing you where he wants you to entry frag into the site. So he should be saying, like, alright, we're gonna do veggie wrap onto A site, cache, and if you guys know, that is a Cloud9 strat. And you would already know from practice where you are going to be entering and from where. And if you were taking B, your in-game leader would be telling you that you're entering on B site. So, and you always want to make sure that your support or whoever's supposed to trade is ready to come out and peek with you after you to trade the frag of when you die. Okay? Now, the next thing you need to know is what you need to know to be a pro entry fragger is you want to take map control. Say you just bust into the B bomb site after, this isn't really good. Let's go back to the A bomb site. Say you just bust into the A bomb site. There's a guy playing headshot. Say you use the pre-fire technique, so you just instantly headshot him. And then there's a guy playing long corner, he peeks you, and you instantly headshot this guy too. Now the site is clear after you check all your angles. And what you want to do after this, after you've taken the site, and if you are still alive, as the entry fragger, you want to take as much map control as possible. So after you've done this, you may want to come here and use your smoke to smoke off CT spawn and come and take control of the CT spawn, like even doing this, making a solo play of taking as much map control as possible and be ready for the after plant situation. Now this is more of a risky thing to do. Something that I would do, say you have no one like long in the strat, it's just a 5-man cat strat, and you know that you've killed the long player and everything, you want to come and you want to take long map control. So that's pretty much it for your playstyle of a pro entry fragger and how to be a good entry fragger. Now I'm going to tell you like how to practice and what you use to practice to become the best entry fragger that you can be. The main thing that I would recommend is just deathmatch. Like, just look up browse community servers in the tags, just type FFA or deathmatch, just hit refresh all, find that server with like 17 out of 18 people in it, and just go and deathmatch. Just use the AK and just go for those headshots. Now I'm going to show you a clip of me explaining training_aim_CSGO, and I'll be seeing you in that part of the video. Alright guys, so here are all my community maps that I've gotten from the workshop, and the name of the map that I use is training_aim_CSGO2_dark. There's also one named training_aim_CSGO2, and this one I don't really like it, but it's named the same thing but underscore fixed at the end. And there's many more, but I'm going to be showing you this one. Now I'm going to wait for it to load in. I'll see you in there. Alright guys, so you're going to spawn in and you're going to select a weapon off the wall using your use key, which for me is E. So I actually usually like selecting the M4, and then I also like selecting a pistol, and for some reason it always drops the M4. The settings I use is a white circle, same size. You change the static duration to 0.5, and you can keep the delay at 0.5, but after you've done 0.5 a couple times, you go to 0.25, and then you go to 0.0. But just to show you, I'm going to do the 0.5. It brings up these dots, and you just want to flick to these dots, and you want to shoot. Alright? Well, I'm just demonstrating, so I'm showing you like what happens if you shoot one. It just disappears, you know? So I'll show you a clip of me on the 0.25 setting, going insane, getting like, I don't know, like 80 out of 100. But yeah, I keep the amount at 25 usually, but you can set it at 100 if you want to just work on your consistency. So the other things that you can do is angles and sliding. I like to turn these two things off and add the rest, and basically it brings a new dot up every time you hit the center one. So it'll look something like this. Alright, and basically I get around like 75 on this usually. But now I'm going to be showing you the clip of me going off on the training_aim.
Still lots of money in Dosa. They'll still be able to afford whatever for the last round, and this is going to be really crucial now what happens here on Catwalk.
Oh, there's Fragger. Fragger! Both kills! Adrian comes in and Fragger with 3! This is it! He gets